March 10th, 2014. OMG, we so did it! I can't believe my plan really worked. We're gonna be so golden. That was such an awesome party. The A's are so cool. All the guys want to bone the 3 A's. They're just so gorgeous and skinny and fun. Allison is the head of the 3 A's. She's just so bossy. Everyone treats her like a goddess. Most people are so scared of what she'll do to them that they'll do anything to make her happy. Then there's April. She is such a bimbo slut. I heard she's given head to all the senior guys. All the cool ones, that is. And Avery, well, she's just kind of a bitch. I don't think there's a girl in school that wouldn't want to trade places with one of the A's. That's how awesome they are. All we needed to do was to figure out how to talk to them. Then, I happened to hear the A's mention about how they had to stay after school in detention. It was so perfect. Somehow, I knew it was my chance to talk to them. Oh my god, you'll never believe what I did, but I am such a freaking genius. I was thinking about it really hard, and then it just came to me. I knew if I did something like cuss in class, I'd for sure go to detention. I just had to wait for the right moment. So later in class, when we were going over our notebooks, Mrs. Gary asked the class a question. I didn't know the answer, and normally I would just stare blankly, but this time, under my breath, I was all like, obviously nobody fucking knows. Oh my god, you should have seen Mrs. Gary's face. Her cold, bloody eyes looked at me like they were gonna pop out of her head and come smack me back in the face. I'm pretty sure she already hated me, but now I think she wants to see me dead. Oh well, who cares? It was so worth it. When the last bell of the day rung, I had butterflies in my stomach. I had been playing it through my head all day. What was I gonna say first? I just knew I would fuck it up. So many kids have tried to be friends with the 3 A's, but they see through everyone. You don't get that cool to just go be friends with total retards. After the last bell of the day rung, I made my way back to Mrs. Gary's classroom. When I got there, the 3 A's weren't there yet, so I went to the bathroom. That way they would sit down first. Then I could come in and sit down next to them. In the bathroom, I started to freak out. I knew that I would have to start with something so super solid in order to catch their attention. So I started to think, what's the major thing we have going for us right now? Duh! Blake! It's hard to get a friend that cool and old enough to buy you shit. We would have to be pretty awesome to pull that off. I thought about a lot of ways how I could get their attention. It was a really hard decision, especially since I knew it would change our lives forever. That is, if it worked. So I decided that if Mrs. Gary did leave the room, I would talk to them. But if she stayed in class the whole time, I would wait until we got out. After I got back from the bathroom, Avery was already sitting down. So I went in and I sat near her. I saw that we still had some time, so I figured I could try talking to her alone. So I was all like, you want to hear something cool? She was like, sure, what's up? So I told her about the drinking and the partying, about how we had a so super cool hookup, and that if they ever needed anything, then I could probably help them out. She was like, that's cool. But then Mrs. Gary came in, and she had to turn around and stop talking to me. When the other A's came in, they were still pretty upset. And then, guess who came in next? Oh my god! Who doesn't want to be going out with Hunter Shotwell? He's like the freaking hottest guy in school. And guess who got to sit next to him? Me! Somehow I just happened to pick the most perfect spot in the classroom. I almost had to pinch myself to make sure I wasn't dreaming. Who knew? But I should have been putting myself in detention a long time ago. I knew I should work on my homework, but no one else was. And I didn't want to be the only nerd in the room. So I got my notebook out and I started doodling. Hunter looked over and he saw it. He didn't say anything, but I think he liked it. I hope he doesn't think that I'm weird. I wish guys like him would like me. I wonder if I'll ever have a boyfriend. If I become friends with the 3 A's, that shouldn't be too hard. After detention, I got my stuff, and while I was on my way out, I heard someone say, hey, wait up. Then I looked back, and the A's were right behind me. Allison told me that Avery told her what I told her. She was all like, you're so much cooler than I thought you were. Then she told me they were all going over to Trevor's house later, and that I should come too. I asked if Dickhead could come, and they were like, sure, just bring some drinks. Just like that. When I told Dickhead, you should have seen his face. We rushed back to Dickhead's so we could get Blake. We asked him if he could help us out, and he said he would love to. He's like the best thing that's ever happened to us. So we went down the street, and he bought us some beer. He even gave us a little weed to take with us. He said we could just return the favor later. Oh my god. walk to the party because the whole night was such a blur. I can't even believe it really happened. Trevor's house is just so cool. We got to hang out in the most ridiculous game room ever. When we got there, the guys were playing a game of pool with Trevor and his sister Chloe. The 3As were gossiping by the stripper pole. It was so ridiculous. I can't believe Trevor's mom has a stripper pole. The A's are so good on the pole. No wonder all the boys like them. You should see the way they flirt with them. Guys never do that with me. I saw Hunter making out with April. Whatever, I'm not that surprised. I still think I impressed him in our game of flip cup. It seemed like I was trying to flip the cup over forever, and then I finally flipped it. I didn't think I'd ever do it. Everyone was so impressed. I got so many high fives, it was ridiculous. Everything was just so crazy. But I think it's when we brought out the good stuff that I finally felt like we had made it. It was like we'd all been friends forever. It just sucks that Avery got to get too drunk. I'm pretty sure she puked all over the bathroom. After that, the party was pretty much over. On the walk home, we couldn't stop talking about it. I still can't stop talking about it. I can't believe we're finally somewhat cool. How cool is that? I can't wait to go back to school.
Now, class, what have you learned from this? Are you still watching? It's not over yet.